Hello and welcome to my blog, Wildlife in a Suburban Garden. I'm Charlie Fleming. You may or may not be visiting the blog for the first time, but I've had about 100,000 visitors over the last year or so, and it's quite interesting for some people, and it really just records my passion and enjoyment of the environment around me. This last few weeks, as you may know, I've been trying to get some good photographs of buzzards which um, live around Exeter, which is my home city, and I'm very, very fortunate to have the use of some private land, and I've got a caravan which has been converted into a hide. It's a little bit more than a hide, really. It's like a wildlife centre, really. I call it. It sounds a bit pretentious to call it a wildlife centre, but it's just a nice little place to come to. This autumn has been a lot of fun with the buzzards. I've been using day-old chicks, which are from the poultry trade. It sounds horrendous. It probably is horrendous. The day-old chicks are sexed as soon as they hatch, and unfortunately, the cockerel chicks, the male chicks, are then euthanized, and the females go on to be part of the egg-laying flock. The males are then used in the sort of dead form as food for reptile keepers and well, any other reason that you can think of along those lines. So it's pretty awful, really. They're dead anyway, so you may as well make use of them. And if you don't like it, don't eat eggs, because that's really what it's all about. Anyway, getting back to the day-old chicks, they're frozen. I keep them in the freezer at home. I bring them up here a couple at a time, sometimes a bit more, and then put them out on the logs and the surrounding bits of furniture, I call it, around the area here in front of the caravan. The caravan is camouflaged. It's painted green here and there, and it's got some camouflage netting on it, and it's sort of fits into the environment in this little pot of the edge of the wood quite well. You'll notice that when you've looked at my blog that I've taken some great photographs with my Pentax digital SLR camera, but I've also got a Lumix GX80, which is a 4/3 micro 4/3 camera, which is capable of filming in 4K video. Both pieces of equipment are fantastic, and we all know about digital SLRs, but I don't think we're all kind of caught up on the micro 4/3 yet. Micro 4/3, because they can record in 4K, are actually recording in extremely high quality. So 30 frames a second. Each frame is 10 megapixels, which is the equivalent of a medium size file with a digital SLR. But there are lots and lots of other advantages on the camera because it's the cutting edge of photographic technology. There's lots of things on it which a digital SLR camera hasn't normally got. It's got a thing called pre-burst, so that means that you can set it onto your subject or where you think the subject's going to arrive, and when it does, you press the shutter and it's actually captured the previous second. So if you're trying to get the photograph of a buzzard or a kingfisher or whatever flying into a perch, it's a bit difficult to predict when that's going to happen. But if you've got your camera set into pre-burst, you simply just press the shutter when you see the subject on the perch, and you've recorded the second before, and not only a second, 30 frames of that second, each one good enough to use as a JPEG. I have to confess that the quality of each image is not as good as that with a conventional digital SLR. I wonder if they're going to address that sometime in the future. I hope so. but at the moment we'll just have to live with the fact that the quality is not quite as good. I don't know why that is. Who knows? Perhaps if you know more about cameras, you can tell me. It's something to do with the sensor, no doubt, and the way things are captured and the pixels and all the rest of it. But the compensations and the benefits of using the digital SR are just so great. Things like that, beg your pardon, not the digital SR, using the Panasonic Lumix, are so great. That's one of them, the pre-burst, but it's also got a thing called post-focus. So imagine that. You take a photo of your subject, and when you do that, it captures numerous images in the frame, and each part of the frame can then be used as an image in its own right, and each section of that image is sharpened to that's the specific area on the image. So you can then go through in sequence all the images you took when you press the shutter in post focus and choose the one that is sharp. I mean, that's just incredible, isn't it? It takes all the sort of almost all the skill out of taking a photograph. Of course, you can just make sure your camera's focused in the first place, but I'm sure that I'll find a use for that. And there's various other things, but I think the most fantastic thing is being able to shoot in this 4K, which is, in layman's terms, is Super HD video. So I'll show you around the Caravan. I'm sitting here with my back to the window, as you can see, one of the windows, and in front of me is another window, and I've got them all the curtains drawn, obviously. It's just a Caravan, but one of the things that I've got which you might be really interested in, it's dark, so now excuse the quality, is this area here, where I've got the camera protruding through a camouflaged port onto, at the moment it's focused on the drinking pool. I'll tell you about the drinking pool in a second. Go to the window here and you might be able to have a look and let the camera just adjust itself on the computer here. And I don't know if you can see anything out there. We're just waiting for something to arrive on the prey. I'll tell you about the drinking pool because that was good fun. When we set up the Caravan 6 years ago, five years ago or so, my friend Dick built a drinking platform for me, which gave me really good opportunities to take birds when they come in to drink, and in that way the silhouette of them drinking is a really great photographic image. However, over the years it's hardly been used. The birds sort of are only really into it. But yesterday, I'm really quite amazed at this. I set up this little trail camera that I've got, which records what comes and goes. The images are awful and almost embarrassingly awful, but it's not designed for that. It's just designed really to record what's coming and going. And so I set it up yesterday about 2:30 and then went home. Literally an hour later, a juvenile buzzard had come in to take some prey that I'd put on there, some bait, which that was the first exciting thing. And then throughout the night I had wood mice were on there coming to take peanuts, which was quite interesting, and a squirrel. And the next day, which is this morning, amazingly, when I just checked, I'd had a yellow, a grey wagtail, Motacilla cinerea, or cinerea, depending on how you want to pronounce it, which is just incredible because I've been into this hide 150 times, I don't know, over the last few years, and I've never seen a grey wagtail anywhere near the area. And suddenly there's a grey wagtail drinking from this pool this morning, which is incredible. So that's the first unusual thing that happened today. And then blow me if I didn't get a song thrush on there. I've had a song thrush before around the caravan, but I've never seen one drinking in that little pool. And so there we are. Let's have a song thrush. If that wasn't enough, I had a blackbird bathing in there. Well, you know, blackbirds, they come and go. They're not rare, but it's still nice to see. And it's still nice to see they were using it. I had a great tit, and I had a robin, and then a squirrel. So all in all, that's really encouraging to see that so many different species are coming and going. Let's just check that, because I've got this trail camera set up to keep an eye on, connected to my iPad, so that I can see what's coming and going. So there we have it. So if you haven't been to the blog before, please call back. And this is a new way of recording things. Hopefully I'll be putting some more pictures on today. I'm going back home to listen to the football in a minute, so football always comes first on a Saturday, unfortunately. And we'll be able to record some more buzzards today, and I'll tell you more about buzzards next time I blog, because I've got some exciting things hopefully going to happen with the buzzards. So this is Charlie Fleming from Wildlife in the Suburban Garden, and please check back, and I look forward to speaking to you again. Bye bye.